Hey guys, it's Faye from Solar Flow, and I'm back with another video. Today's topic is love, sex, and energetic entanglement. So if this sounds like an interesting topic, please stick around, and if not, I will catch you at another video. So what is the true meaning, both positively as well as negatively, of love, sex, and energetic entanglement behind the veil? Because that's what we're going to talk about up here on this station all the time in every video. What are the things that we cannot necessarily see, taste, touch, smell, or hear, but yet know intuitively are true and are real? So let's take a look at this. Love. I love to be in love. It's a beautiful thing, right? Being in love feels vibrant. Being in love feels promising, feels enlivening, feels, and it just feels very, it just feels electrifying, right? So that is a fantastic power. That, if done in a positive and of the light way, can be manifested for the good. And we're going to talk about both the good and the bad. So let's look at romance, and we're going to talk specifically more about romantic love than the love that we would experience when we're married or the love that we have for our friends and our family, okay? That's, of course, no less real, but the energetic blueprint of a romantic love is specifically what we're going to focus on for the reasons that I just explained. It's a very potent and powerful energy. So when it is harnessed for the good, let's say you're in a romantic relationship with somebody where you are both of the light, you are both good, the love can be harnessed in such a way as to elevate us. It can inspire us, and it can get us onto our energetic path because of it. When it's two partners working in concert with one another, looking out for one another, wanting the best for one another, that can elevate our energy and get us onto the path, onto our most elevated and highest path. Now, the reason for love as well is that we may have a social contract, or I would say maybe a better way of looking at it would be a karmic contract, even though I don't necessarily like the word karma. And if you go back and watch almost all my videos, I talk about why that is. The word karma does not accurately reflect what karma is. So we think of the Western karma as what goes around comes around, right? A better way of looking at it would be an energetic reverberation. So perhaps in a previous lifetime, we have been connected to somebody. We come into this lifetime as well. Aha, there you are. You recognize the person right away. The two of you are bound in another lifetime. And the more lifetimes that you've had with somebody and the more lifetimes that you've had being a romantic partner with them, the more it will actually increase the likelihood of coming into a new incarnation as well and partnering up with them. Because the energetic ties are that much stronger. Imagine it's every time you have a partnering with somebody, you're adding another fiber to a rope. So your rope gets stronger through the lifetimes. Now, finding somebody that you've had previous lifetimes with that is positive is incredibly powerful. Because now that energetic connection between the two of you, the fibers have been reinforced, the fibers are stronger, their connection is stronger. And you can both really work in concert with one another to elevate your potential and to elevate your energetic expression. When it is not of the light, when it is perhaps a newer relationship, but it's not within a light being, what can actually happen is that you can have a dark entity on the astral realm, on the astral plane, and they can see a person, and they can see their potential. they can see how the person's energetic blueprint is starting to rise. They can see, well, they might not use these words as I'm using, but the person is starting to ascend. The person is starting to wake up. They are starting to understand who they are, why they're here, what their purpose is. The beings on the astral plane, they don't like that, because the more and more of us are starting to ascend, the more they are going to be displaced for good. They will have nowhere to go. So they will send somebody down into a walk-in, perhaps. They will be a walk-in, and I've done videos on walk-ins as well. You can go back and you can see my videos on walk-ins. Somebody will come down from the astral plane. They will inhabit a body. They will target a specific person that is starting to ascend, and they will fuck that person's energy up. And the way that they do that is through the sacred act of sexual intercourse. And the way that that works is, it's more pronounced. The woman will feel the effects of that more pronounced than a man will. It's not to say that a man will not. But if you think about the way sexual intercourse works, the woman is the receptacle. We are energetically open, and we are energetically designed to receive. When a man, not just a man, anyone, if anybody is coming into your auric field, your direct auric field, their energy can influence you. The closer they get into you and the more layered, I guess you could say, that they could get in, the more they can influence you. So if a man you are having sexual relations with a man, they are in the innermost layer, the most private layer that a woman can receive energy into. And when a man comes into that domain, he leaves behind energy tags. What can a man do when he leaves behind energy tags? All sorts of things. First of all, he can siphon your energy. He can literally, it's almost like, think of like an umbilical cord connecting two people. He can siphon directly through the energetic tags that he has left behind. He can siphon your life force energy directly. He can also influence you because he has a direct access energetically behind the veil. It's not something that you can see, right? But he has a direct access to get in, and he can influence you. So how many times has a woman been involved with a man and then he starts ghosting her, or he starts leaving breadcrumbs, or he starts playing mind games with her? It is that much more potent. If, let's say your dry cleaner did it, right? Would you care if your dry cleaner did that? But when it's a romantic partner and they have direct access into you, it can influence you and throw you off that much more. They can influence you to do things that you would not ordinarily do because, again, they have their energetic hooks into you. One way of looking at it might be like an energetic parasitical relationship, because they can feed directly off of your energy at any time that they want to, and they can influence you, and they can siphon from you. So when it is not of the good, when it is not of the light, it is a parasitical energetic relationship. And that can derail the progress of, I'm sorry, my nose is very itchy. That can derail the progress of somebody that is in the process of ascending. But when it is done for the good, when it is done of the light, it is fortifying the support, and it is fortifying the connection between two people. from a biological point of view, it's kind of been explained, but it's been explained from a very 3D kind of explanation, which is that they say that when two people couple through oxytocin, oxytocin, I forgot which one oxytocin, it's one of them. One is a drug, one is an actual synthetic drug, one is an actual chemical release that your body experiences when two people are engaged in the act of sexual intercourse. And it does biologically connect a woman to a man. That's the 3D explanation. I'm not saying that that doesn't happen. That does. The hormone and the chemical is released. But energetically as well, there is more of an energetic tie and an energetic bind between those two people. So there is a behind the veil explanation for it, as well as a 3D explanation for it, much like almost everything in the world, right? So it's been also, in modern day times, it's been corrupted. And the way that it's been corrupted is we have like the modern women's movement, which was said to sexually liberate women. So let's go back to when this first started with the introduction of birth control for women. So now women could have sexual intercourse with a man without the concern that they were going to become pregnant. So that liberated women on one level. The liberation was actually a perversion. Okay, that was step one, going up levels of steps. That was the first step. Look at how much more so it has been perverted today. We have the invention of all of these apps in which both men and women can go on and just look for people. So we're not then just being perhaps introduced to people that live near us. It's not that we're being introduced to people through friends. It's not where there's this idea this person might be safe because a friend knows them, or I know the neighborhood that they live in, so I'm kind of understanding their socioeconomic status, right? It's now we're being exposed to people from all around. You could be on vacation and be on an app and find somebody. So it is said that it has liberated, again, both men and women, but it's been a further perversion because now it's societally almost so acceptable and norm. You know, we have like this hookup culture where people are having very, very casual and transient sex, not understanding that energetically their most private and innermost domain where their energy lies, especially for a woman, is where we can reproduce. Because if you guys don't already know this, women's reproductive organs are portals. We are bringing souls in from another dimension. We are bringing them into this three-dimensional dimension. So that entire sacred space has been so corrupted by hookup culture. Because now, instead of it being a very, very pure energetic space, it's like the 405 freeway Monday morning at 9 a.m. If you guys aren't familiar with the 405, I'm out here in LA. The 405 is like a massive mega freeway or highway, however you want to look at it. It's Grand fucking Central Station. It's Heathrow Airport. It's JFK Airport. There's just energetic entities and beings coming in and crossing over and going here and going there. It's an energetic corruption. Anybody that has done any amount of traveling and flying, you will understand there's a reason when you get to your destination, you are like, you feel like you just came back from walking on Mars. It's because energetically you have been inundated with the energy of all of those travelers and all of the people that they have encountered on their travels. Now imagine if you are taking all of that energy into the deepest, the most profound, the most protected part of your energetic body. Just leaving that there. I'm not condemning anybody that has engaged in any of this, hookup culture or hooking up or anything. It's just to introduce you to this idea and into this concept of it. It's not to say that we cannot release those energies. It's not to say that we cannot call our energy back to us. We can. But you can't do what you don't know. So I just want to bring this to you so you know. Part 2 of that would be, how can I now clear this? Because here's the thing. If you're a woman, you have had the energy left behind inside of you. If you're a man, you're also taking that energy with you, right? That's how you can siphon off of a woman's sexual energy. But if it is not a monogamous relationship and people have not energetically cleansed themselves or healed themselves before they've gone into a new relationship, they are carrying the energy of their previous sexual partners with them. And all of their sexual partners. And all of their sexual partners. So if it is not done of the light, it has been perverted and it has been corrupted on the astral plane with the promise that it has actually liberated women. What has it liberated us to? Has it left us more energetically porous where other entities can come in? Has it just left us more porously open? What has actually been liberated other than our chastity? What's been liberated? Take a second and think about it. Because if it's been corrupted, what has been liberated? It's the malevolent beings on the astral plane. They have been liberated and they can now come in. And again, if you guys have not watched my video on Las Vegas, that is a fantastic video specific for this purpose. Because once a dark entity from the astral plane comes in and now they have a body, what do they want to do with that body? They're not going to church with their body. What are they doing with their body? They are doing all sorts of perverted and corrupt activities because they are not of the light. So our energetic entanglements have been perverted and corrupted because the way it's been presented is that it's been liberation for women. It's not been liberation for women. It's been to liberate the dark beings on the astral plane. Now, the good news is, hope is not lost. We are still ascending. You know how when we're playing hide and seek and someone says, ready or not, here I come? Ready or not, humanity as a whole is ascending. So, because of that, ready or not, these darker beings from the astral plane are being more and more displaced. They can still leave their energy tags behind, right? But, ready or not, we're ascending. Ready or not, we can cleanse not only our energetic bodies, not only our energetic fields, we can also heal the deepest recesses of ourself that are sacred. We can also call back our energy from other sexual partners that we may have had that have pieces of our energy, and we can also release their energy as well. So hope is not lost. And if you want me to do a video on those topics as well, comment down below. Let me know that you want a video specific to how we can call our energy back, how we can release energy. But one of the ways, I think it's the second most recent video that I've done from this one, which is healing our trauma and owning our energetic badassery, that has a lot to do with it. Because if there is a trauma on any level, first of all, that's going to make somebody a more enticing partner for a darker entity to want to couple with them, right? Because they already have an energetic chink in their armor that these beings can sense, and they can get into it easier. If we don't even know that it's there, how can we protect ourselves? So the first step is to know that. The first step is to get familiar with any trauma that you may have. Because once you know about it, you can heal it. Once you heal it, you are no longer, you don't shine or sparkle in such a way to a darker being, because you've done the work and you've healed yourself. And now you have an energetic reinforcement around yourself. So it all starts with healing our trauma. When you start doing that, energetically, you are ascending and you are vibrating at a different energetic level that these darker beings are not going to pick up on you quite as easily, because you're not an easy target anymore. So start with that. Get familiar. What trauma have I endured? How has this changed me? How has this shaped me? How has this impacted me? And if you're not sure, and if you want to do a session with me, we can actually discover what are some traumas that either could be repressed or you are not fully in access to. But again, these things are going to start to come up as we ascend more and more. We're having this opportunity where they're being brought to the surface for us to see it, examine it, transmute it, release it. So whatever is, it could feel very uncomfortable. Wow, I'm suddenly remembering all of these things. Hallelujah. Because if you know about it, you can heal it. If you can heal it, you can protect your energy differently. But I digress. Anyway, if you guys want me to do a video on how to call your power back to you, how to call fragmented pieces of your energy back to you, how to dispel the energy of other people, let me know down below. As always, I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video. I hope that it has brought you meaningful information or meaningful content on some way that resonates with you. And if it hasn't, just take what has, leave the rest behind. And as always, until next time, stay in the high vibration.